We go to PMQT, Mr. Honourable Second Member for Blackburn-Accueil, Mr. Beechook.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Yes, Madam Speaker, B1208, please.
Madam Speaker, the House may recall that the reduction of the VAT registration threshold from 6 million rupees to 3 million rupees was introduced primarily, first, to create a level playing field and fair competition among operators in the same business activity. It addresses the discrimination whereby a VAT-registered business with a turnover threshold slightly above 6 million was being charged VAT, while a business with a turnover slightly lower than 6 million was not being charged VAT on the same type of goods. Secondly, to encourage operators in the informal sector to enter the formal market, keep records, and improve tax compliance. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Revenue Authority that following the lowering of the VAT registration threshold from 6 million to 3 million, as announced in the budget of 2025-2026, for the period 1st of October 2025 to 29th of July 2026, the total VAT revenue collected from newly VAT-registered entities amounts to 655 million rupees. The number of new VAT registration is 8,764, and the number of VAT deregistrations is 84. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the VAT registration threshold was at 2 million from the 1st of October 2006 to 31st of March 2013. The VAT threshold was then raised to 4 million on the 1st of April 2013 to June 2015.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Next question then. Honourable Second Member for Vieux-Grand-Port.
Thank you, Madam
Yes.
Speaker. Is question B/1209, please.
Madam Speaker, we already have an established mortgage and housing finance market in Mauritius. Individuals and businesses can obtain long-term financing from lending institutions, including commercial banks, insurance companies, and the Mauritius Housing Company Limited, to purchase, to construct, or to improve properties such as land and buildings. The properties themselves serve as security for the loans. Such properties are generally intended for personal use or owner occupation, although some may also be rented. A buy-to-let mortgage is a different segment of an advanced housing finance market. It follows the same basic model as the traditional mortgage market, but the purpose is different. The borrower purchases a property primarily to rent it out and earn rental income rather than to occupy it himself. Under such a financing arrangement, the lending institutions takes into consideration, among other factors, the expected rental income generated by the property to determine the borrower's repayment capacity and the amount of financing that may be granted. Such products can contribute to broadening access to rental accommodation, encouraging private investment in housing, and diversifying the range of mortgage products available on the market. However, they may also give rise to risk relating to higher household indebtedness, increased exposure of the financial institutions to the real estate sector, and the potential speculative pressures on residential property prices. As regards to Part A of the question, Madam Speaker, the introduction of specific mortgage products, including buy-to-let loans, is primarily a commercial decision for banks and other eligible financial institutions. It depends on the market demand and the perceived risk involved and the internal credit policies. I'm informed by the Bank of Mauritius that the existing regulatory framework enables banks to offer such products to their customers. However, a buy-to-let mortgage market may require a more conservative loan-to-value ratio in order to address risk from this market. Thus, borrowers will have to contribute more of their funds, with the lenders financing a smaller share of the property's value. In addition, because buy-to-let mortgages are considered riskier, banks may charge higher costs for these loans, making them more expensive for customers. Regarding Part B of the question, I'm further informed by the Bank of Mauritius that the banking sector has not approached the bank with regard to the lending based on the equity of existing residential properties and the income-generating potential of investments. In the event of such a proposal, the bank will study all the aspects of these types of lending arrangements before determining the appropriate regulatory framework, if any. In particular, the bank will look into the associated risk, the prudential requirements, impact on the financial stability, and the need for appropriate regulatory safeguards. Concerning Part C of the question, any changes to the mortgage lending framework would need to be carefully balanced. We'll need to carefully balance the objective on enhancing access to housing finance with the need to safeguarding borrowers, depositors, and the overall stability of the financial system. In this regard, consideration would need to be given to the possible impact of additional credit growth on residential properties, household debt levels, and housing affordability. While buy-to-let mortgages can support investment and rental housing supply, their development should be pursued prudently, balancing improved access to finance and housing affordability and financial stability. Madam Speaker, government remains open to innovation in real estate financing to support the development of a modern, efficient, and diversified mortgage and credit market that meet the evolving needs of households, investors, and the wider economy.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for the reply. Can the Honourable Prime Minister also inform the House as to whether the government will be willing to evaluate aspects of the United Kingdom experience, who has been highly successful in implementing the buy-to-let mortgage, and if those measures, similar measures, could be adapted in Mauritius?
As I said, Madam Speaker, government is keeping an open mind, but the Bank of Mauritius say they have not been approached for such a framework, but they will consider it if they apply.
Thank you. Yes. Honourable First Member for Vacqua-Fleuria.
B12, s'il vous plaît.
Madam Speaker, my reply to parliamentary question B1081 of Tuesday, the 21st of July 2026, I announced that a project monitoring and implementation unit will be set up shortly under the aegis of my office. The House will agree, Madam Speaker, that over the years, Mauritius has reached a stage of economic development where the principal challenge is no longer the formulation of policy, but its effective execution. A recurring feature of many strategic national initiatives is that they are announced with clear objectives, but often experience delays arising from a fragmented institutional responsibilities, lengthy administrative procedures, insufficient interministerial coordination, regulatory bottlenecks, and the absence of a single authority responsible for monitoring delivery across government. Madam Speaker, for far too long, institutions have operated as if in silos, instead of adopting a coordinated approach to project implementation. Furthermore, we are aware that in the past, there were instances of collusion between consultants and contractors, resulting not only in delay of implementation, but also cost overrun. The Project Monitoring and Implementation Unit will have a clear mandate to coordinate, monitor, accelerate the implementation of government priorities through integrated planning, evidence-based decision-making, institutional collaboration, and rigorous performance management. This will ensure that the principles of value for money is stringently adhered to when implementing major infrastructural projects. This unit will report directly to me and would be expected to submit regular reports on the status of the implementation of the infrastructural projects. Madam Speaker, consultations are already underway for the selection of a highly qualified professional with a view to ensuring that the unit will be manned by a proficient team with robust engineering background and proven track record in project management.
Thank you. Yes.
L'honorable Premier ministre, peut-il nous dire si cette unité aura un pouvoir décisionnel ou uniquement consultatif?
No decisional power, because he will be able to tell us where the bottlenecks is, where the delay or where the cost overrun are, and he will look at that.
Okay.
Est-ce qu'il pourrait nous donner l'estimation du coût annuel de cette unité?
At this stage, can you?
We have not yet proceeded with that, but we are
Okay.
looking for a professional from outside.
Okay, next question, Honourable fourth member.
B1211.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Prisons that from November 2024 to 29th of July 2026, a total of 579 mobile phones has been seen within the prison premises. And they are as follows: 41 mobile phones found on detainees, and 538 mobile phones were found within the prison premises other than on detainees. It was suspected that mobile phones had been used to commit criminal offense in 41 cases. These cases were reported to the police for inquiry, and the status of the police inquiries are as follows. 1 person has been charged and the matter is at court level. 5 cases have been filed and 35 cases are still under inquiry by police. Madam Speaker, with regard to Part B of the question, I'm informed that by the Commissioner of Prisons that the following measures have been taken to prevent use and the possession of mobile phones within prison premises. 1, enhanced searches of detainees, prison officers, visitors, and vehicles. 2, regular intelligence-led searches by the prison's intelligence unit and the prison dog section. 3, the use of body scanners, baggage scanners, metal detectors, mobile phone detectors, anti-drone systems, and mobile phone jammers. 4, CCTV surveillance. 5, regular patrols, and 6, continuous training and sensitization of prison officers on security procedures. In addition, the Mauritius Prison Service is procuring additional security equipment to further strengthen prison security. The upgrading of the mobile phone jamming system at the Melrose Prison will be implemented shortly. The Mauritius Prison Service is also implementing anti-pelting netting in correctional facilities to prevent the introduction of contraband and enhance the safety and security of prison institutions. The Mauritius Prison Service will also procure a new anti-drone system by March of next year to detect and counter unauthorized drone activity, thereby further reinforcing the security of prison premises. I'm informed, Madam Speaker, that 1,362 mobile phones which have been seized by the Mauritius Prison Service over the period 2019 to 30th of June 2026 have been destroyed already.
Yes, one
Yeah, thank you.
question. Yeah.
If I may have two, Madam Speaker.
One for the moment.
Yes, the first question, Madam Speaker, with regards to mobile phones seized, I would like the Prime Minister to look into the fact that out of the 1,300 mobile phones that were seized, there were 284 SIM cards. Those have been destroyed, but no inquiry to determine who have procured these SIM cards. As we know, SIM cards have to be registered.
No, ask the question.
That is the question, whether he will look into it. I am informing him of the aggravating circumstances, which I am telling him now of this matter, that they have destroyed evidence.
Don't
but
repeat.
But, Madam Speaker, I need to make the question intelligible. You have interrupted me. I need to get back to where I was. So therefore, Madam Speaker, I will ask the Prime Minister to look into that. There may have been destruction of evidence which now cannot be used to prosecute, including eSIMs that were contained in this mobile phone. 300 physical SIM cards, the rest were eSIMs, now have completely been destroyed. Whether he will look into it.
I'm not aware whether that is the case, but I will certainly look into the matter.
Yes.
The second question, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Straightforward.
Yes,
question.
Madam Speaker, there is an issue with this matter. The figures, whether he will agree that there is something qui ne tourne pas rond. He has stated himself that only 1 person has been prosecuted. I know for a fact, Madam Speaker, and I would like to apprise the Prime Minister of saying that no inquiry is being made on who are procuring these SIM cards.
Okay, that is the question.
Whether he will urgently himself personally look into that. Something ne tourne pas rond ici.
Are you
Things
going?
ne tournent pas rond dans ce pays. But I did say that 35 cases are still under inquiry.
The issue is about procurement. So you will look into that, I expect.
Thank you.
Question.
Yes,
not-
the Prime Minister,
nothing
that
else.
is the question. Whether he will review urgently, he will speak to the Minister of ICT as well to review urgently the procedures for procuring of SIM cards and the procedures with regards to the prison service, that whenever a mobile phone is seized, an inquiry be initiated into the owner of that SIM card, the registered owner, because by law there has to be a registered owner, and it cannot be that in 1,400 mobile phones, only one person has been prosecuted in 7 years.
Prime Minister, yes.
All I know, I can tell the honourable member, I will certainly look into the matter and I will ask the police to look into the matter.
Yes, and I want to tell members that I'm the one who decides how many supplementary are given, depending on the type of question. So no comments, please, on these things. The Honourable Third Member for Mobile Saint-Petit Rivière.
B1212, please.
Madam Speaker, I wish to draw the attention of the honourable member to the fact that since the beginning of 2025, there have been consultations between the parties in the government and the opposition to decide on the membership of various regional and international organizations to which Mauritius belongs. Various criteria have been taken into consideration, including the respect of proper party balance as well as the gender balance. In May 2025, the list was finalized. Ever since, members are aware that the procedure is as follows. Madam Speaker, you are the one who decides who will participate in which mission. The clerk of the National Assembly then seeks financial clearance for all overseas missions of honourable members, and I then approve our participation in a mission. Concerning the part of the question relating to any concern raised for the amendment of a Mauritian delegation, the honourable member knows very well that the Pan-African Parliament, PAP, did indeed raise an issue because according to the PAP, there was no member of the opposition in the delegation. I made a statement on the issue on the 25th of July 2025, and I also replied to a parliamentary question from Honourable Adrien Duval on the 29th of July 2025. The latter had in fact been contacted, but initially did not wish to be part of the team. However, Honourable Adrien Duval finally agreed to join the team of 4 other members. Therefore, all 5 honourable members took the oath before the PAP on the 28th of April 2026 at the extraordinary session of the 7th legislature of the PAP. Honourable Lakiram is now the chairperson of the Human Rights Committee of the PAP. The delegation attended the permanent committee and the 3rd ordinary session of the 7th legislature of the PAP and are now back.
Thank you.
Merci.
Yes.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je remercie l'honorable Premier ministre pour sa réponse, surtout concernant le Parlement panafricain, et cela nous conforte au niveau de l'opposition, de façon à ce que finalement, Madame la Présidente, on a inclus un membre de l'opposition comme on le préconisait nous-mêmes au départ.
I want a question from you.
Oui, j'arrive, Madame la Présidente. Madame la Présidente, cela a toujours été la pratique selon laquelle les membres des délégations soient désignés. Je suis obligé de commencer la question par ça.
Non,
vous allez comprendre après pourquoi.
Mais non, posez la question, whether, ceci, cela, et puis vous allez dire.
Les délégations sont désignées par le Premier ministre pour le gouvernement et par le leader de l'opposition pour l'opposition. Peut-on savoir pourquoi le gouvernement actuel, contrairement à ce que l'honorable Premier ministre a affirmé, le gouvernement actuel fait fi de cette pratique, ignore complètement cette pratique et que le leader de l'opposition n'est jamais consulté, bafouant ainsi les règles d'une vraie démocratie parlementaire ainsi que le principe de représentation pluraliste.
I totally reject what the honourable member is saying. We always consult, as said in my paper. In fact, as you know, I just mentioned that honourable, you were 2 members in the opposition at the time. We asked them, but what can I do?
Yes, Honourable First Member for Vacqua-Floréal. First Member for Vacqua-Floréal.
B1214.
I just announced that 1213 has been withdrawn. Yes.
1214 has been recorded.
Yes, 1213, 14 now, 14 now. 1214 now.
Madam
Yes.
Speaker, in my reply to parliamentary question B319 on Tuesday, the 14th of April 2026, I informed the House that I shall propose a motion in the National Assembly for the setting up of a select committee that will be tasked to submit a report on the introduction of Kreol Morisien in the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, the motion is on the order paper of the National Assembly today.
Yes. Be careful because you will be able to talk later on.
Est-ce que l'honorable Premier ministre pourrait-il déposer le rapport soumis par la Speaker sur la table de l'Assemblée, étant donné que je lui avais demandé, lors de ma dernière question parlementaire, il m'avait dit qu'il fallait que ce soit circulé d'abord au cabinet. Est-ce que maintenant il pourrait le déposer, s'il vous plaît?
I understand from the Madam Speaker that the report will be circulated to the select committee first and then.
That is true. We will have time to talk about all this in the afternoon. Yes, Honourable Fourth Member for Port North,
Yes,
please.
B1215.
Question? Yes.
Madam Speaker, the House may recall that the post of junior minister was created in 1996 through an amendment of the Constitution of Mauritius. The principle underpinning the creation of the post of junior minister is that junior ministers assist their respective ministers towards the achievement of national objectives. By helping with the implementation and monitoring of ministerial decisions, they contribute to national development and government's vision. However, Madam Speaker, with the evolution of the Mauritian society, national realities and priorities are constantly changing, and the role of the elected public officials as well as their responsibilities will have to be reviewed. Consideration is being given to reverting to the PPS system, but it's just consideration.
Speaker,
Yes, one
firstly,
question.
will the Prime Minister agree, first of all, that the junior minister model has not yielded the
You're
result?
asking for his opinion.
No. Will he agree? It's a fact, statement of fact. Will he agree with my statement that the junior ministers have not yielded the results intended? In fact, it has been more of a source of problem between minister and junior minister because fundamentally their role is not made by law. They have no official responsibility. It dépend du bon vouloir de leur ministre. Sports, tourism, and gender is but a few examples. Therefore, would it not be better
You've asked a
and
question
in the
already.
public interest that
Don't
he now
repeat.
reviews it, a system that has proven not to work?
You've already said, you repeat quite a lot. That was that was your question, so you're repeating your question. Yes, Prime
I don't
Minister.
agree that junior ministers didn't achieve anything. This is not actual, but I agree with you. There have been some conflicts between junior ministers and ministers, but we are, I said, considering reviewing that.
Will the Prime Minister agree that contrary to private parliamentary secretaries?
He just told you that they're
Let me ask my
considering-
question, Madam Speaker. You cannot answer for the Prime Minister.
I'm not answering.
But I'm asking my question. What is your problem? I ask my question.
Don't abuse. That's
I am
all
not
I'm-
abusing. I am asking whether he will agree that private parliamentary secretaries are designated to two constituencies and have a clearly defined role assisting the Minister of the Road Development Authority. However, junior ministers have no defined role. Therefore, will the Prime Minister, in considering whether or not to review the system, he will at least consider defining their roles? That is what I am asking.
Okay.
Whether you will consider, in the meantime, to define their roles clearly.
Okay.
Answered that question. ma'am.
Simple answer.
I just
Yes.
answered. We are considering.
Yes, that is it. Now we've finished because